In the first half of 2022, China's auto exports surged to 1,218,137 units, a year-on-year increase of 47.12%. Among them, new energy vehicles exported a total of 202,000 units, a year-on-year increase of 1.3 times, accounting for 16.6% of total auto exports. This figure is expected to surpass Germany, behind Japan, and China is about to become the world's second-largest auto exporter. China's own brands are developing so rapidly, but we don't seem to feel anything, and there are even many people who look down on Chinese-made cars. Why is this? I think mainly for three reasons, which I am going to get to later. So, what is the current development of Chinese domestic cars? When will it be impressive? Your vision is your world. Welcome to Auto Age. Now you are on the journey to look back at every change in the car, witness every surge in speed, and explore the mystery behind the car. Before we started today's video, please subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Okay, let's get started. Why do Chinese cars have achieved such dazzling achievements, and many people still look down on Chinese-made cars? I think there are three reasons. First, judging from the current market situation, although the export volume of Chinese automobiles is high, the export gold content is relatively low. A large part of the exported automobiles are not China's own brands, but are only automobiles made in China. Taking the Tesla factory in Shanghai as an example, the Tesla cars produced in this factory will also be counted as cars exported from China after they are sold to other countries, but a larger part of the profits are pocketed by Musk. Besides, Tesla is still a wholly foreign-owned enterprise, so there is nothing left except taxes and jobs. Second, although the export volume of Chinese cars is so high that it may even surpass Germany, we should pay attention to the fact that German cars have already made money without exporting them. Because they have joint venture factories in China, such as China First Auto Works Volkswagen, Shanghai Automotive Industry Volkswagen, BMW Brilliance, and Beijing Benz. According to data, in the first half of this year, China First Auto Works Volkswagen sold 504,659 vehicles, SAIC Volkswagen sold 510,609 vehicles, BMW Brilliance sold 306,837 vehicles, and Beijing Benz sold 266,464 vehicles. If these sales are counted as imported cars from Germany, then this sales data is really enviable. Third, cars for export sales are still dominated by developing countries. Since Chinese cars are still the main cost-effective route in overseas markets, most of the countries where they are sold are also developing countries. For example, in Chile, in the first half of 2018, Chinese cars occupied the top sales in the Chilean market. Although Chile is not a poor country, its local auto industry is relatively backward. It is also because the local auto industry is relatively backward. The zero-tariff policy is implemented here, bringing together more than 60 car brands from all over the world. Chinese cars rely on high-cost performance and are very popular here, especially Chery cars, even more popular than Toyota. Chery has sold 24,000 vehicles in Chile in 2021, accounting for 5.9% of the market, while Toyota was only have 5.7%. However, in my opinion, although the gold content of Chinese automobile exports is low, the development speed should not be underestimated. In 2001, China's auto export volume was only 20,000 vehicles, which has increased by 100 times in 20 years. I believe that this growth rate is enough to make many countries daunted. At the same time, the hard work of the industrious Chinese people in various industrial chains is also accelerating the development of Chinese-made automobiles. Musk has praised Chinese employees. They take the initiative to work overtime until 3 a.m., and the workers are even willing to live in the factory, but this is impossible in Germany. No way. Of course, many people are calling Musk an unscrupulous capitalist. We put aside whether Musk's values are correct, there is a seemingly universal understanding. Chinese people seem to be naturally more industrious than foreigners. Why? In European and American cultures, individual interests are more emphasized, and Chinese culture is more emphasis on collective dedication. The collective emphasized here is as small as the family and as large as the country. For example, in Chinese culture from ancient times to the present, parents and children are part of the same family from birth to death. Therefore, in addition to earning enough for themselves, Chinese people always want to do more and save more money for their children and family members. Some viewers may be dissatisfied when they heard what I said, and they would argue that, it's not that the West doesn't care about their families, it's that their welfare is good, and the Chinese have no choice but to save money to support their children and the elderly. Objectively speaking, the welfare of Western workers is much better than that in China, we have to admit this. However, this is another essential reason why the Chinese are industrious. The qualitative change of things is a process of continuous evolution, and the difference in the development stage creates the essential difference. The capitalist powers entered the industrial society hundreds of years earlier than China. When China first opened its eyes to see the world, they completed the primitive accumulation of capital through colonization. In 2000, when China entered the WTO and wanted to do business with them, the division of labor in the industrial chain in the West had already been completed, and China could only accept the positions they arranged: foundries, cutting-edge technology and high-end industries that basically had nothing to do with China. The old capitalist countries in Europe and the United States have harvested the whole world by relying on the division of labor in the industrial chain, so as to provide their workers with complete welfare benefits. And China is at the bottom of the industrial chain, earning the least money, and there are more than 1 billion mouths waiting to be fed. So, how should China break through? The answer is that you can only rely on yourself to work hard and grab it from others. How? First, the hard-working quality of the Chinese people still needs to be maintained and carried forward. This is the internal driving force that supports the rejuvenation of China and its industry. There is no pie in the sky. Just like Sri Lanka, which has declared bankruptcy, Sri Lanka was still a leader among developing countries in the early days. They could have used their rich natural resources to develop planting and export trade, and then drive other industries. However, when income and creativity are relatively low, and they have not built a good internal circulation, they completely rely on external borrowing and promote a large number of social welfare that is out of line with the actual development level of the country. Its own industrial transformation has not been realized, and there are too many grand plans that are out of reality, which will eventually lead to the collapse of a country's finances. All in all, no one is born to be diligent, but diligence and reasonable distribution are indeed the starting point to realize a good life. Okay, that's all for today. Please put your comments below, and share your insightful ideas with other people. Do you want to learn about more auto stories? Please keep following our channel and like our videos. Thank you so much for your continuous support. Your precious time with us is highly appreciated. See you.